Hey everybody, welcome to another Bucs Report show. I'm excited to be here. It is Friday night. Let's have some fun. Let's bring on the crazy. Let's bring on the good time. Let's talk some Buccaneer football. Hey guys, are you ready to talk a little Buccaneer football? We got a little training camp talk. We've got a little bit more than that. Evan Winter is going to be coming on here in a little bit, and we'll talk to him about all kinds of goodies and stuff that he's got going on, that some articles that he's written for Bucs Report, and all kinds of interesting news. We got news of Arians talking about last year, talking about the Chargers game and saying the Bucs would not have won last year's Charger game the year before, the team prior, led by you-know-who, Jameis. It said that they would not have won that Chargers game. This, to me, guys, we're just starting to taste a little bit of the season's finally coming. Season is finally getting here. Everybody's starting to get cranked up. I'm excited about it. I want to say hello to Cam Tam. I want to say hello to Christopher Cole and Sean. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to the Bucs Report show. Welcome to Bucs Report Live. We are excited about tonight. Got all kinds of goodies and all kinds of little things to talk about. But I want to hear from you guys a lot tonight. And as well as, like I said, Evan Winter's coming on, and maybe some of the, the parent thing. I don't know. I can only say this. They're miscreants to the core, and I imagine some of them will be popping by tonight. So anyway, just throwing that out there. Hopefully we'll hear from the dude and more. I want to start off, I guess, talking about what Arians said about the Buccaneers would not have won the San Diego game the year before. Now, I want to talk about that because I think that this can both get blown up into something bigger than it is, but it can also be ignored for what it is. Look, the bottom line, flat out, Bruce Arians, call it a friendly indictment, if there is such a thing, of Winston and the Winston era and the team that was there and the culture that was there under Winston. Here is the bottom line, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. And everybody can say, he's not on the team anymore. He's not on the team anymore. I understand that, but it just became relevant news because the current head coach just basically brought it up. But I want to say this. Guys, Jameis was not a good leader. Anybody who defends him will always say, look at all the yards he threw for. That's all that you have. There's literally nothing else. You can't say, look at what a model citizen he was. He wasn't. You can't say, well, look at all the games he won. He didn't. You can't say, well, he won when it mattered. He didn't. Guys, the bottom freaking line to all of this, the bottom line to all of it is he was not a good leader. And right now what the Bucs have is not just a leader, not just a good leader. I believe the Buccaneers have the greatest leader in the history of the game leading them. I was laughing because I think it was Phil Simms. Somebody came out with their list of quarterbacks, and they said Tom Brady was number 10 in the league right now. Okay, I get it. What you're saying is from a physical standpoint, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Tom Brady or would you rather have Patrick Mahomes? If you're building a team, if you've got a team and you're looking forward to the next 10 years, who would you rather have, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes? I get the point behind what they're saying. It's an interesting question. Let me ask you guys 2 questions. I want you guys to be thinking about, and I want you guys to go ahead and answer this. Put it in the chat room, okay? Here's my question. This year, right now, all things being equal, do you want Tom Brady to be your quarterback? Or do you want Patrick Mahomes? Second question. 3 years. Do you want Tom Brady or do you want Patrick Mahomes? And then more than 3 years. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. Because that's the only way you can answer the question, honestly. Look at it as 3 different questions. Number 1, do you want him now? If he's only here for a game or two, a year or two, is it all worth it if that's all you get from him? And then the old Bucs come back. Everybody answer that question tonight. Soak it all up. Ask yourself the tough question tonight. The question you don't want to ask, and everybody's afraid to ask, and people don't want to say it, but ask yourself the tough question tonight. Ask yourself if the Bucs are going to have a couple of good winning years, and then the whole thing starts to come apart at the seams, and they become the old Bucs. Was it worth it? I'll give you my answer. I cannot say this equivocally enough. Is that a word, equivocally? I think that's right. Strongly enough. I cannot say this clearly enough. I cannot emphasize this enough. Yes, it's worth it. Yes, every stinking little bit is worth it. 2 years with Tom Brady versus 15, 20 with Winston. Okay, maybe you could keep Winston. Maybe he develops. Maybe all of that happens. Maybe. That's the difference. Maybe. With Tom Brady, you can no longer say, maybe the Bucs will win a Super Bowl. It's already done. Now you're going for maybe the Bucs will win a second Super Bowl. Now, if you had gone in to last year when Brady signed, I remember hearing the news when it broke. I remember the moment. I remember hearing Tom Brady's coming to Tampa. And I remember thinking, holy cow, man, I wonder if they can win a Super Bowl, a singular Super Bowl with Tom Brady here. If they could win a Super Bowl, it would all be worth it. Isn't that where we are at? It was worth it. This grand experiment, it's already been answered. Everything we were hoping for, we already got. We wanted a Super Bowl with Brady. We got it. So now what? Now you want another one, right? Okay. So now you got to say, was it worth it if they don't? Of course it was worth it. But this is what I always find so interesting about Buccaneers fans. And I promise you guys this. Watch your Facebook feed. The moment this team meets any adversity this year, the moment someone gets hurt, the moment there's some small little bit of difficulty, the moment something happens, the Winston people will be back, and the Buccaneer fans, they identify themselves as Bucs fans, but the moment anything goes wrong, you're going to hear Jason Light sucks, Bruce Arians sucks. You're going to hear you need a new head coach. You got to get rid of this, blow the whole thing up. I'm telling you, the moment it happens, It could be during a game we'll start to hear it. You know, the Bucs struggle for the first 2 quarters, and by halftime, watch your Facebook feed. And that's why I want to encourage you guys to do something. I want you guys to change this year. I want you to change. And I'll try and join you. I have told you guys that I sat watching the Super Bowl in awe, not even all that excited because I was too busy trying to wrap my mind around all of this. Well, guys, it's here. Let's just have some fun with this. Let's scream, cheer, holler. Let's be proud. Let's brag a little. Let's go ahead and be a little bit cocky. Let's go ahead and feel good about ourselves as Buccaneers fans. Yeah, that's bizarre. I understand it's bizarre. I understand as a Buccaneers fan the difficulty with this. I understand trying to get over some of this. I get it. But there's a bottom line here, guys. We got to get over this and be champions as fans. We've got to learn how to be champions as fans. The team has figured it out, how to be a champion. Now, do they know how to play as a champion? We're going to find out. But they know how to be a champion. They just did that. Can they maintain it? We'll see. But us as fans, it's time for us to learn. Us as fans, it's time for us to start to figure out how to be a little cocky. How to be like, yeah, that's right, I'm a Bucs fan. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bucs fan. Yeah. Instead of being like, yeah, I'm a Bucs fan. I know. Because we've been so used to that. So all of us get to spend a little bit of time maybe embracing the fact that we are freaking champions. And it's a tough adjustment. Johnny Dean's out there. He's in Pittsburgh. I want to hear from him because he's in the world of people who are used to being champions, who know how to be champions when it comes to football. The Steeler fans know how to be champions. All right, New England fans certainly know how to be champions. Bucs fans, we're learning. We're going to learn. It's going to take us a while. And today starts new. Okay, guys? Today, I want you guys to adopt a champion attitude. I want you guys to adopt the attitude of, hey, we've got this year. We're going to beat your ass when you come and play in our stadium and if we go to your house. Hide your mamas. Hide your babies. I'm telling you, this is the time for us to be a little cocky. This is the time for us to feel good. It's hard as a Bucs fan. If you've been a Bucs fan for years, Johnny Dean knows all about this. I know Teresa knows all about this. If you've been a Bucs fan for any length of time, it's hard to feel like a winner. It's hard to feel that way. But guess what? You don't just have one championship. Now you've got 2. You know how many the Dolphins have in the same time that of the Bucs' existence? 0. Jaguars have 0. The only Super Bowls in the state of Florida since the Buccaneers have come into existence, 2 of them by the Buccaneers. Not another Super Bowl in the state. Tampa Bay. Abso-freaking-lutely, it is Tampa Bay. We've got the Stanley Cup, and they're taking a shot at another one. The Rays have the best record in the American League. I think they're tied for the best record in baseball. They were in the World Series last year. They better bring it home this year. And then the Bucs can do it all over again. Tampa freaking Bay, the center of the sports universe. Be freaking proud. Be proud. I walk into my office and I heard everybody today, they were talking about hockey. All the other employees, they were all talking about the game last night. And I wasn't saying a word. I was just sitting there listening to everybody talking, and it was all their talk centered around the Islanders. Centered around the Islanders did this or didn't do that or should have done this or could have done that, and blah, blah, blah. And then they turned and looked at me, and I went, we won. Y'all lost. That's all I got to say. Nobody can say anything to that. Okay. But the Islanders had a lot of chances. Good for you. You had chances. That's awesome. Tampa Bay won. The Buccaneers, if you're a Bucs fan, Tampa Bay is going to win. Wrap your mind around it. Soak it up. Let's bring Johnny Dean in here, the professor. Johnny Dean. How you doing, my friend?
How's it going, bud?
Good. So
that's a very interesting debate you got going on there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you're in Pittsburgh. You're in a place where they know how to win. They've done it a lot. I think they have 6 rings, right?
Right.
They know how to win. We don't know how to win as fans, as Bucs fans. I'll tell you, we don't know how to win. I've told you, I don't know how many times I sat watching the Super Bowl in silence because I was too busy trying to accept that we were going to win.
I've compared Pittsburgh fans to other fans, and I don't think that's a good example for what I think you're looking for, because Pittsburgh fans aren't that great, man. If they lose a couple of games, they're screaming fire the coach and all this and that. And that sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
But a better example.
They really do that in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they do. They've had Mike Tomlin and effigy out here before, man.
Wow.
The better example for this would be the Baltimore Ravens. They lost the Colts. They knew what it was like to not have their team at home.
Right.
And win or lose, those guys show out. They do.
Right. Well, so does Cleveland, but I mean,
yeah,
Cleveland
I was
doesn't know how to
going to
win.
mention Cleveland and Buffalo, actually.
Right, but they don't know how to win. They know how to be fans of a loser, but to really embrace and understand and feel like a champion, like a fan of a championship team. You know, like, yeah, listen, Bucs fans, listen to this, Bucs fans. I want you to listen close and think about what I'm about to say, because if you've been a Bucs fan for any length of time, you're going to understand this is crazy. We have the best team in the league. We beat the crap out of the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Embarrassed them. Your team is that good. Your team isn't just a champion, but you are a monster, a beast of a champion. That's your team. Feel that way. Thump your chest when you're out there. Stop being meek Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. Thump your chest a little bit. It's all good. Now's the time.
Yeah, pound on it, man.
Yeah. Now's the time.
Patriots, imagine this. Now, the Patriots have 20-year-old men out here who have never had a losing season. They've never faced that diversity.
Until last year.
Yeah, right. And those are the guys who don't know how to lose.
They don't know how to lose.
For me, that's far more important than knowing how to win as far as a fan base goes.
I think it's both.
Because the ones that have lost respect far more the wins.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny, I'm gonna put you in the lobby for a couple of minutes, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Bring on Evan Winter for just a little bit, and then I'll come back to you. Or if you want to head off, you can and come back. Whatever you want to do, that's fine.
All right.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right, bud.
Okay, let's add Evan Winter. Evan, how are you doing, my friend?
What's up, Rick? Ecstatic, because obviously I'm here tonight. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm having a great night because you're here. Right.
Likewise, I'm having a great night because I'm here with you. So I mean,
awesome.
the mutual feeling. It's just it's vibing right now.
Society. Hey, I don't know if you've heard what I've talked about at all here tonight, but I talked about how Bucs fans. I think it's time to learn how to be championship fans. This is Tampa Bay. We've got a Stanley Cup here. We're working on another one. We've got a Super Bowl. Hopefully going to work on another one. We were in the World Series. Now we're hopefully going for another one. It's time to thump your chest and brag a little. It's time to, if not now, when? I promise you guys, it's never going to get better than this right now.
100% appreciate it. Live every moment like it's the last. Because it's not obviously going to be the last, because there's been repeat instances of success among the sports teams in Tampa. But either way, just right now, there could be some downtimes, but at the end of the day, downtimes are what build champions. And we saw that last week through the first 12 weeks of the season, right?
Yeah. Well, this to me feels better. I know this. I remember when the Bucs won their first Super Bowl. I remember the appreciation for the moment and thinking, people who haven't been through what we've been through as Bucs fans, they don't understand what this feels like. Cleveland would understand what it feels like. Detroit would understand what it feels like. Philadelphia understood. Even though I hate them, they understood what it's like when they won the Super Bowl. They understood that feeling of it's that monkey off your back, that you no longer have to hear about it, think about it. Nobody's going to mention it to you. You're not going to think about it, whether you want to admit it or not. I got a buddy of mine who's an Atlanta Falcons fan, and he swears up, down, left, right, and in between. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It doesn't matter. I love my team. Well, sure, we all do. But what are you rooting for?
100%. Yeah.
You want the championship. And I get it. Okay, if you don't have it, okay. But now he makes a very good point. He's a Braves fan, and that run that the Braves had with Bobby Cox when the Braves were so good for so long, and they only won one World Series. He was like, well worth it. And I get it. And I can say, to have that kind of run and be that good year after year after year, and that likable of a team and pitching staff like they had, and that it was very likable, and they did win that World Series. If they never won that World Series, I think that might feel more like the Buffalo Bills or Minnesota Vikings of days gone by.
Well, hold on. Let me pause you right there, Rick. Who does that remind you of in today's terms?
What, always coming close?
Yeah, but always having regular. I was going to say the New Orleans Saints.
They got one.
Yeah,
if
right.
You took that one away.
They had the one, but
But if you took that one away,
And at the one point, they had like the most wins amongst all NFL teams over 3 seasons, that certain span. But I don't know. There's almost something worth being a Bucs fan for those 18 years that they didn't make the playoffs, or 17 years, and winning your second Super Bowl. I don't know. It's almost like you're I don't know, like, well, obviously I appreciated this year's Super Bowl way more than I did in 2002 because I was 13 or 14 at the time.
Right.
And you don't fully grasp what it means to suffer until you suffer, which is what every Bucs fan did. I'm probably
going to catch grief from everybody in the chat room here and all Bucs fans and all this. I'm probably going to catch some grief for what I'm about to say. As far as appreciating it, I appreciated the first Super Bowl a little bit more.
Oh, well, it's your first Super Bowl. Totally that makes complete sense. But hey, this is something.
Hold on. Let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
Because I want to get this whole thought out. All right. While I appreciated that first Super Bowl more, and there were several reasons. It wasn't just that it was the first Super Bowl. It was also, there was personal stuff. My mother had just passed away. She was a big Bucs fan, and they won. I just moved to Atlanta, had found this new group of Bucs fans that I was friends with. And there were multiple reasons that I appreciated that. Having said that, this year's Super Bowl, and I get disagreed with when I say this, but I believe this year's Super Bowl team was better because I believe the defense, and I know this is heresy in Buckville. I believe that the defense may be as good as that old defense. Now everybody is like, what? Are you kidding me? I get it. We had Sapp and we had Rice. I get that, but we got Sue and we got JPP and we got Vita Vea. We got Devin White. We've got Levante David. We've got all that. We've got the cast and characters just like we had before. Now, granted, they haven't all been here for 15 years, and that's why the first one feels like it was so much better.
So I have this weird, like, personal rule, and maybe it's not considered weird because a few people here and there have agreed with me over the time, but regardless, so my whole thing about winning championships is you win the first one no matter what. Like, who cares what happens? Who cares if you're LeBron James going up against, and this is all fictional, or fictitious, rather, I should say, obviously. But, like, let's say you're LeBron James going up against, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, the Celtics, whenever all that was going on. Right. And let's say all of them get hurt, and Cleveland goes on to win the first championship. Or let's just say, in terms of Bucs, to keep things relative, let's say Rich Gannon doesn't play in the 2002 season Super Bowl.
Right.
You win your first one no matter what.
Right.
Who cares? After that's when you start building your legacy.
Right.
So, your championships you win after that is when you start building your legacy.
Right.
So coming across that defense back in 2002 that has set multiple and still holds multiple NFL records over the season, the regular season, playoffs, all that other stuff, compared to this year, I feel like even though this team was better, you're absolutely right, because whenever you weigh the offense with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, I mean, don't get me wrong, Keyshawn Johnson, Keenan McCardell, Brad Johnson, Michael Pittman, they were all good, but they're not this level that we're seeing right now.
Right.
That almost offsets the defense.
Right.
Or no, actually, no, it does offset the defense.
Right. That's where I'm at, where I think this year it's
it could be a wash. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, the defenses might, when you juxtapose them, one might fare a little bit better than the other. Or sorry, hold on, let me take a couple steps back. One will fare better than the other, and that's obviously the 2002 defense. Well, but then when you take a look at these offenses, man, it's completely different.
But and I'll say if I think this defense doesn't have the props that it will get over the next several years that will put it in that category. It's just the reason that other defense gets that feeling is they did it for years. This is new.
For sure. And one thing is the defensive schemes and just defenses in general have changed so much since then. And plus
John Lynch wouldn't be in the league.
Right. And we're also talking about a 4-3 defense, cover 2 against a 3-4 multiple scheme, multiple front, diverse back end defense, all that other stuff, and it's just a different era of offensive football. And even if you go back and look at the 2002's team's playoff run, obviously they went up against Jeff Garcia and the 49ers, 31-6, won that game, shut down, I think, a top 5 offense in the Eagles, and then went on to beat, did Rich Gannon win the NFL MVP that year? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd be surprised if he did not.
Yeah, but I'll say I'm pretty sure. Either way, the Raiders, another good offensive team. And then you look at what the Bucs did this year or this past year, the Saints, Packers, NFL MVP and Aaron Rodgers, and then Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, who were supposed to be the next NFL dynasty.
The 2002 team, when they hit the playoffs, the 2002 team dominated every game
100%,
of the postseason. And the Bucs did not dominate the postseason like this year's Bucs did not dominate the postseason as much.
Outside of the Super Bowl, man, I'll agree with that. 100%.
Right. But having said that, when I was watching the Washington game, for instance, or it doesn't even matter. The Green Bay game, New Orleans game, I never felt like, we're not going to win this. I always felt a confidence that we were going to win those games. Even when I was sitting there before the game, not necessarily before the game, because I was always still, again, it's so hard to believe, when you're as a Bucs fan, it's so hard to embrace everything.
Right. But it's so hard to accept reality sometimes,
right?
Even when you're winning.
we're really good.
It's like, hold on, something else is at play here. This can't be happening right now.
Right. That's what I kept waiting, like, what's about to happen? I mean, like, a buddy of mine and I used to laugh when we were in high school that it would be the Buccaneers. The clock would be ticking down. They were going to win their first Super Bowl, and the clock would be like 3, 2, 1, and then you'd see this nuclear flash because it just couldn't happen.
Right. Just all time will cease to exist. Like, right. You're just like stuck in limbo at that
right.
moment.
It's like dividing by 0. That can't happen.
The Thanos snap just happened.
Yeah.
Right there at that time.
That can't.
Hey, Rick, I lost you. I think you're muted.
There we go. Sorry. Now the opposite of the Thanos snap. The stadium's going to be full.
Nice lead. I like that.
Perfect well, I mean, it's kind of cool.
Dude, and I mean, just how awesome is it that it's coming after a Super Bowl win? I mean, Raymond James is going to be packed. Fans are going to be more hyped than ever. And sure, we're going to have some bandwagon New England fans. We're going to have just some bandwagon fans who want to hop on in general. But welcome them on in. As long as they're cheering against the team the Bucs are playing for, it's going to be cool, man. I mean, dude, this year is so big. I mean, last year was huge. Don't get me wrong. But this year, like, everybody wants to say beginner's luck. Oh, what's the Bucs legacy after Tom Brady leaves? And those are warranted questions. They're warranted topics. Sure. But if Tampa Bay happens to repeat this year, which when we talked about the other day on the podcast, the only thing that's going to stop them is injury, which granted it's football. That's possible. But either way, the opponents they face, just how everything has been set up, this year can easily define their legacy moving forward.
Yeah. And by the way, I want to mention that podcast. It's coming out most likely later tonight. We had a great podcast talking about training camp and things coming up, getting ready for it. It was actually very informative, not just an excellent podcast. You guys are going to want to catch that. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. It's all over the place. So wherever you get your podcasts, go get it. The Bucs Report podcast is out there. It'll be out there tonight, this episode with Evan. So Evan, what is coming around the corner? What do we as Bucs fans have to look forward to next?
I mean, right now, I think it's just more about just kind of reflecting on the season, because you obviously feel different about things in January and February as they're happening compared to a few months later down the road, even if it's a few weeks later, a few days later. But right now, I mean, I think this is a good opportunity to just kind of sit back and reflect and also just realize what Tampa Bay accomplished last year. I mean, the COVID-19 pandemic, no off season, Tom Brady coming to town, being the first team to ever win the Super Bowl in your own backyard, even if it was in front of limited fans. I mean, what Tampa Bay the 2020 season will always be talked about, and therefore Tampa Bay will always be talked about, even though they were routinely and they're decently talked about since 2002. But I mean, man, right now is just an opportunity to reflect, but also watch tape. And that's what I'm going to be doing over this next month and a half, just kind of going back on the 2020 season, kind of figuring out, what needs to happen here and there in order for Tampa Bay to continue their march towards going for 2.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing to say, all right, all 22 starters came back, 23 really.
Right. Yeah. Antonio Brown, even 24. Antonio Brown. Right. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. Okay.
Right.
So having said that, the chances that all of those guys are going to start again. Some rookie's going to come in and surprise. Somebody's going to come in and surprise. Something's going to happen that's going to, upset the apple cart. The chances of it being the same people, it's not. Listen, shoot, man, you're even mixing in OJ Howard. Holy crap, this team's going to be good.
Right now, you almost want somebody to come in and disrupt things. And like, don't get me wrong, it's awesome. You're returning the nucleus and you're returning all starters from last year, but you almost want that new blood, that new life to come in and reinvigorate people. Granted, we have Tom Brady, we have JPP, we have Ndamukong Suh, we have all these great leaders who are going to make sure that week in and week out, everybody's doing what they need to do. But there's so much benefit to having someone come in and just, adding that lifeblood. And Joe Tryon is one of those people who might do that. Jalen Darden is
That's who I'm thinking. That's where I'm thinking. Right. If that guy, when it comes to punting, to punt returns, if that guy flashes at all during the regular season, how the heck does anybody beat this team?
Right, Giovanni Bernard in the pass game, in the screen game, I mean, like, if he can get his footing down, then that sews up another area of need. So, yeah, man, I mean,
think about this, Evan. The Bucs won the Super Bowl last year. Now you take that Super Bowl team and add OJ Howard, Giovanni Bernard.
Right.
I mean, that's what you're dealing with. You're adding Darden, you're adding Tryon, you're adding,
Robert Haynes,
adding to this Super Bowl team that didn't just beat Kansas City, guys, crushed, embarrassed, humiliated, made look foolish.
No touchdown scored in that game.
Kansas City Chiefs. Oh my God, the Chiefs offense is so good. I don't know. I remember after the first game with who's their rookie running back?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. I remember getting a phone call from somebody going, nobody's going to be able to stop these guys. When they won the Hall of Fame game or whatever the heck it was, when he went out there and played, everybody's like, nobody's going to be able to stop these guys. Oh, yeah?
What's up? The Bucs called. We had something to say about that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they didn't just beat them. They embarrassed Kansas City.
The best drive they had in that game was the first quarter drive that ended in a field goal. So I mean that when that's your selling point for the offense, it ain't 1992 anymore. That shit doesn't work anymore. So
no. Well, I mean it and to me, what I don't understand, when I see Vegas and I see the odds that Vegas comes out with, or I see different things like that, and it makes me laugh because holy crap, man, they're Super Bowl champions that got better.
Yeah.
Now you got Brady with another entire year and his knee worked on and, blah, blah, blah. Brady should be better. I mean, let me say those words. Tom Brady should be better.
After throwing, I think, what was the third most touchdowns in the 16-game season in his career, second or third most, one of the two. Yeah, just crazy stuff.
I mean,
he had, according to Pro Football Focus, from weeks 12 to 17 last year, he had, granted, I did just tweet about this, and Pro Football Focus, their grades can be very, very subjective, and they could mean things that usually don't translate onto tape. But according to them, Tom Brady had a 99.9 grade when throwing the ball over 20 plus air yards from weeks 12 to 17 last year.
Why only not? What?
Why not go ahead? Why not just give him that point? One point.
I mean, now we got OJ Howard, so.
Right there, boom, right.
I mean, holy cow, man.
Yeah, you can't. There's no way you're going to beat that, especially since he supposedly had no arm coming into last year. So
right, remember that whole noodle arm? His arm is shot. Dude,
same thing that's going on with Kyle Trask right now, man. So
the cliff, or the cliff that Brady's gone over,
right.
and Belichick knows what he's doing.
Cliff, even though I might have fallen out myself, I'm still looking for
it. I mean, this to me, and the comments like Dylan Vaughn is saying, Giovanni Bernard finally got a running back with hands. Yeah. This is an amazing team. I mean, this is I look at this year's Bucs team. This is the best team they've had by far.
Easily. Yeah, easily, man.
By far.
And you know me, I'll always try to be objective in my analysis, even though I am a fan of this team. But dude, at the end of the day, right now, as we enter training camp, now, everything could always change. But the only thing that's going to derail this season is injury. That's the only thing. Yeah. And now, granted, it's football, so that's a huge deal. But with who they've brought back in terms of depth, that will easily substitute for any injury. But just unless this team just gets racked by just bad injury after bad injury,
right?
There's no way they don't make more noise this year. I'm sorry. Right. It's just not possible.
I want to point out now I'm someone who does not think that the season is lost and over if Brady goes down. Okay. I'm one of the few who says, well, now hold on. It's not like the guy behind him is that bad. Now I'm not talking Trask. Okay. All right. I mean, I look and I go, and I'm not talking Ryan Griffin. Okay. When I look at Blaine Gabbert and think,
you're talking about the most underrated player in the league, according to Bruce Arians, right?
Right. Well, but if that were the case, they wouldn't have gone out and gotten Trask. Okay.
I agree.
If he was that good, and this is what I want to point out about that. If Gabbert was that good, let me point this out. And now we're saying, well, the year before the Bucs wouldn't have won against San Diego, or I'm sorry, the Chargers. The Bucs wouldn't have won with Winston. Well, keep in mind, Arians had Winston starting over Gabbert.
It's a good point.
Yeah, so
good point.
Obviously, Gabbert is not even up to Winston. So we have to be somewhat realistic about that. Having said that, if Brady were to go out for 3 or 4 games, I think this team can be just fine. Thank you. And I'm not even sure that would be the worst thing. Okay. I'm not even sure that would be the worst possible. Everybody would think, oh no, it's worst case scenario. I don't know. If Gabbert could get in there for 3 or 4 games, especially depending on when they are, that might be good for this team. Might, let everybody else start to step up, pick up, keep Brady. If Brady gets tweaked but not badly injured, you know you're good. Then he sits over there for those 3-4 weeks, getting better, and he'll be back. He's not getting his knee blown out or something during that time.
Right. Well, yeah, it all depends on that 3 to 4 week stretch, who they play, so on and so forth. Just the one thing that always gives me pause when it comes to the possibility of Brady getting injured is Tom Moore, who is currently on the Bucs staff. When he worked with Peyton back, and I'm Peyton Manning, just in case. I live in Nashville. I'm a UT Ball fan. I refer to him by first name, but anyways,
I think for those who Peyton is.
Yeah, right. And excuse my language coming up. Hold on, just so I can get full context. Am I allowed to say the F word? Just wanted to.
You know what? Tonight I don't care.
Okay, cool. All right. So back whenever Peyton was in his heyday with the Colts, Tom Moore literally said at one point in time during practice, if Peyton doesn't play, we're fucked. If he doesn't play, we practice fucked. If he doesn't play, we play fucked. So that, and Tom Moore's on this coaching staff right now. So that resonates with me a lot. I do agree, though.
Well, who was the backup then?
I think Tampa Bay. Hold on. I think Tampa Bay right now, just talking about right now as we're speaking, if they were to lose Brady for 3 to 4 weeks, I do think they could find a way to manage. Because even when you look at, I think it was 2017, I believe, whenever Blaine Gabbert took over for Carson Palmer. They beat the Titans out there. The Cardinals still managed to go like 8-8 that year. Actually, yeah, that was it because it was the year before Bruce Arians retired. 2 years before Bruce Arians retired. Right. I think at this point, Tampa Bay has enough of a composed team, of a built team, to where if they lose Brady for 3 to 4 weeks, depending on that 3 to 4 week stretch, who they play, they could definitely survive. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, and it might even be a positive. If he goes out
10 games, that's a whole completely different story.
I don't even know that means that they're out of the playoffs. As long as he's back for that run, who knows?
Right, yeah. As long as they don't go 0-10, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They'll be okay.
Right. I don't want to see it. And I'm not, some people would say, oh, you shouldn't be talking about this. Like, is it having this?
That's all superstition. That's all fantasy. Well, put it this way. Brady was, even though Tampa Bay was one of the league, or the offensive line was one of the league leaders in sacks allowed, pressures allowed, pressure percentage allowed, Tom Brady was still one of the most hit quarterbacks. Now, whether that's a full body hit, somebody's coming around smacking his arm, whatever, he was still one of the most hit quarterbacks last year.
Right.
Obviously, those numbers went down after the bye week, but still, he showed he could take a beating last year. So there's still some solace. There's still some peace. And watching him get hit this year, at least, for one more year.
Yeah. And him, how he's changed, and now pliability is his big thing. How he deals with injuries and all that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
Pretty excited about that. All right, Evan, where does everybody find you?
Right there on the screen at Evan_winner. That's the best place to find me on Twitter. Outside of that, BucsReport.com. I mean, that's where we're always trying to give y'all daily content as much as possible, all day long, every day. And right now, obviously it's June and we're still putting stuff out, but, be sure to pay attention during not only training camp, because I'll be down there during the first week, but especially once the season rolls around, we're going to have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Well, and the stuff you've been putting out, I think, is fantastic. It's been keeping me engaged at a time that normally things get really slow. So the articles have been very good. And so is the podcast. Like I said, I think it's dropping tonight. That'll be, but you are a guest, and superfan John Blakey, if you guys know who he is, that is the guests that we're going to have. He is from the Buccaneer Invasion. So
nice.
Thank you for being on tonight.
Yeah, man, of course. It was my pleasure. And, obviously we'll talk soon. Can't wait to talk again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Rick.
All right. One of my favorite guests, Evan Winter. That guy sort of keeps he's the reason there's a Bucs Report website that keeps on ticking like it does. It's between him and Joshua Cole Allen and the writers that are there. It's the content that they deliver is phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. We're going to come back in just a couple of minutes here, just a minute, not a couple of minutes, just about a minute. We'll be right back after this commercial, and I look forward to seeing you then. All right, guys, we are back. That I was very, very I'm happy to have Evan whenever Evan comes on, because I think Evan brings such great perspective and knowledge to the podcast. That wait till you hear the podcast. It's actually one of my favorite podcasts that we've done, and that will be dropping, I believe, later tonight. But there's so much good stuff that the Bucs Report's been putting out. I'm pretty happy with the articles that have been coming out as I go and I check it, and it's what keeps me engaged. That's what keeps me entertained and up on the Bucs, because I've got a day job, and as I'm churning through my day, and I'm, whenever I have a break or anything like that, I flip open Bucs Report, and I get all kinds of good little insights, good little all that info that I wouldn't get otherwise. So yeah, the comments, guys, there have been some great comments. I saw one about Minnesota earlier that I think described. I mean, it was a very good comment. If I can find it real quickly, I'll do it. But things get a little bit lost. And Drew said, speaking of learning to be a fan, Bucs fans should be welcoming all fans, even bandwagon fans. Amen to that. Before last year, no one thought of cheering for us. Welcome whoever wants to cheer for us, even if they're just Brady and Gronk fans. We need to build up this fan base again and keep Tampa a team that players want to come to. That's exactly correct. It's not bad for other fans to become a part of this. It's really not. All right, Dylan says, Bucs did their thing in 2020. I love the direction our franchise is going. Tom Brady teaching Kyle Trask. Excited to see our defense third year under Todd Bowles' system. I've always been excited to be a Bucs fan. We've built two of the best defenses in the NFL. I am not certain what all of that is. Okay. Bucs have always set the bar first to win the South, first to bring the Lombardi to the South with the win and the highest Super Bowl point differential, everything y'all talking about. Why we Buckaholics? Ain't that the truth? Yeah, there's so much that that to me. Okay, now Joe says Kyle Trask is your future. Way too early to know that. Way too early. We haven't even seen the guy show up in a preseason game, and you know how that goes. Guy's going to show up in a preseason game, and everybody's going to go, "Oh my God, look at how good he is! He's better than Brady." Because they'll win a preseason game and look really good. Look, that's years in the making. That's nothing to even concern ourselves with now. But I like the attitude, Joe. I like the attitude. Johnny, thank you for what you said here. Everyone pound on that share button. Please do that. That helps this show get seen by more eyeballs. If you hit share and just share it to your newsfeed, that helps when Facebook does their analytics and everything for this show. That helps. So by all means, everybody, please hit that share button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, whatever, depending on which platform you're on. Please do that. That makes a big difference to us. And it really does help us. And we try our best to get out here and provide good content for you. And you guys don't even realize the amount of heart and passion and energy and effort that people are putting in every day to try to keep you informed and entertained. You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but this staff that is here for the Bucs Report is something I am very, very proud of. Proud to be a part of, and I love being a part of Bucs Report, and that's just a fact. It's a full-on team, and I appreciate these guys. So, anyway, Johnny, if you're still out there, come on back and let's talk. But I think it was a good conversation that we had with Evan. I mean, I enjoyed the conversation with Evan, but one of the things that we didn't get into that I would have, I guess, liked to have talked more about with him is when it comes to the Saints, when it comes to the Panthers, when it comes to that other team in Atlanta that plays that I'm not a fan of at all. When it comes to them, what kind of hope do these franchises have, really? I mean, you can always be hopeful. Like, everybody goes into next year with hope. Every year as Bucs fans, we would go into the year with hope. But can't tell me that the hope isn't different this year, Bucs fans. Can't tell me last year the hope wasn't a little bit different. So I guess what I want to point out, what is it like for a Saints fan right now? What are they really expecting? What do they believe their team is going to do? How good do they think their team is going to be? What are their expectations? The Panthers, what are their expectations? Now, I live here in Charlotte, and what I hear from most Charlotte fans is, yeah, we think we're going to be a little better. We're coming around. Let's see. I really like this quarterback. Let's see what's going to happen now. And you've got this, we're hopeful kind of attitude with Panthers fans, with Falcons fans. I don't hear a lot of excitement or hope. I hear, well, maybe we'll be better than the last guy. Maybe this coach will be better than the last one. And that's sort of what I'm hearing from Atlanta. It's not so much hope, honestly. It's more, I'm going to use the word exasperation. It's a lack of hope. And then you've got, we've talked about the Saints, we've talked about the Panthers, we've talked about the Falcons. I want to know, what do you guys think? I mean, here's a guy, let me bring Johnny in. Johnny is very in touch with fans of a lot of different teams all out there, not just Bucs fans. He interacts with people from every team all day long. Johnny, what do the Saints fans expect out of this year?
They're still pretty much set on what their norm is. You know, they think they're going to be a 12 win team or 11, 13 win team, you know?
Right.
And I don't see that their expectations are overblown too much because they really, it's organizational.
Right.
The Panthers and the Falcons have restructured their organization. It's going to take time for them, the organization itself, to gel. We're going to have to see what Arthur Smith's offense is going to look like. The team's going to have to learn that offense. The Panthers pretty much in the same boat. Besides, we don't know what their quarterback's going to be doing. And I know everybody has this high hopes for that, but you know, you don't know until you see the product on the field. And the coaching staff ain't going to know how to use what they have right away.
Well, that's why in Carolina there's very tempered expectations.
Yeah, and I believe that's the case in Atlanta also. Atlanta is very happy with their offense, but they've had a good offense.
Yeah,
it's the defense. The draft kind of let them down on the defense department. You know,
well,
they
I kind of
really
feel like all the Falcons fans that I know or that I've interacted with, they're all kind of like, yeah, we're definitely not there. Now we lost Julio. We got a new coach in. It's going to take a few years.
Saints fans are kind of happy with Jameis, and I don't understand why, except that they believe Sean Payton can do something that nobody else has done yet. So,
yeah.
And I
think it's blind faith because your team's been good for so long. I think it's the same thing as they all thought, well, look at what Belichick's going to be able to do with Cam Newton.
Well, a lot of that is their faith in Sean Payton and the defensive scheme and the offensive line.
Right.
So
right.
and that they are far stronger than the other two teams because they don't have any glaring needs except that QB spot, but they have the pieces around the QB to temper what kind of damage he can do.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So, no, I think that's a lot. I mean, that makes sense. I just feel like for me, when I look at the Saints, I really believe the parallel of Cam Newton and Belichick. I really believe you're looking at, I mean, it's look, man, lightning in a bottle doesn't happen all the time, okay?
Right.
Sean Payton and Drew Brees were lightning in a bottle. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were lightning in a bottle. Bruce Arians and Tom Brady are lightning in a bottle. Basically, I'm saying Tom Brady is lightning in a bottle. Okay. I don't believe Jameis Winston is lightning in a bottle. Okay. I mean, I see him as.
I see what you're saying there, but I don't. Bruce Arians is part of that lightning in a bottle. As much as you like to, Brady didn't learn the offense until the 9th game in the season.
Oh no, I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you that Bruce Arians played a part of that. But wherever Brady goes, those coaches look really good. Okay. And when Brady wasn't there, okay, what did the coaches look like? You
understand that Brady chose the Bucs for a reason?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
He saw what was surrounding. The quarterback, and he was smart enough.
Completely.
He would never go to Cincinnati and be able to pull off what he did in Tampa. You know what I mean?
Agreed. I agree completely. And I'll be honest with you. I think Brady was as shocked or more shocked when they won the Super Bowl. I think he was like,
that too.
Yeah, I think
that's why he said, "Yeah, I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to keep playing."
Yeah, I think it was almost like, okay, we weren't this good. We, like, how did this happen? Because they got good at the end in the postseason. They got good, and actually, you said it. You said it, and I didn't really believe you. Is you said just wait till the postseason. Just wait till the postseason. And I didn't think there'd be that big of a difference, but there was a huge difference in the postseason.
There usually is. I mean, they're just working the kinks out the first 6-7 games, and then after that, midway through a season, when you start seeing what a team's really doing.
Yeah. What does Drew say here? Can you talk about special teams expectations this year? A time during the playoffs or special teams? Punt coverage made me hold my breath, especially that Saints game. Our draft was nice. And I see a few rookies making teams just for special teams. What are your thoughts? Also, I think Mickens is going to lose his job to Darden. Okay. First of all, as far as Mickens and Darden, Drew, I'm going to tell you, listen to the podcast, because Evan and I very specifically got into Mickens and Darden on the podcast. So that's kind of interesting, but we very specifically got in depth regarding that. And regarding special teams and everything. So it's funny that you asked for that, because that is very specifically what we cover in the podcast. So it's really a good podcast, guys. You don't hear me pump this up that much. It really is a good segment. But I guess, what are my expectations for special teams? My expectations for special teams are simple. Improvement. I don't think you need your special teams to be game winners. Maybe your kicking game, but other than that, you don't need your special teams to be game winners. You just, the thing about last year is everybody always did, when we talk about Mickens, we talk about, he always looked like he was about to screw up. He always looked like he was out of control and about to lose the ball and about to, but he didn't. He did nothing spectacular, but he did nothing really bad either.
He put us in poor field advantage quite often, though.
Well, he never rescued us. That's for sure.
That's what the special teams is all about, is fighting for that field position.
Yeah. Let's add Matt. Matt Colson. Hey, brother, how you doing?
I finally got everybody out of here.
Does your place seem a lot quieter now?
It will in a half an hour once the echoing stops.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Matt had a cat that, when I say wouldn't be quiet, I mean, if you listen to our last show, you'll hear throughout the entire show a cat meowing in the background. That was Matt's cat.
With the door shut. That was in a closed room down the hall.
Wow.
Yeah. Imagine that at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
got that issue resolved. So
yeah, he called his local Chinese food store and they came and picked up the cat.
got hooked up with
I'm kidding. See, yeah, I have to take it out on cats since the angry producer or the foul-mouthed producer fired me on live from the cheap seats. I have to sort of take shots at cats when I have the chance.
Well, I don't blame you.
The one sitting next to you right now?
Oh yeah, he is there. He's got his back to me. He knows he can't fire me anymore. He's been his power's been taken away. But
well, I heard you guys talking about special teams.
Yeah.
And I just got to take umbrage with what you said about your special teams. Doesn't have to be anything great, just not bad, or something to that effect.
Yeah, I was saying you don't have to count on them to win the game for you.
Oh, I agree. That's what most coaches think. But wouldn't it be good to have a Devin Hester? I mean, wouldn't it be nice to be
Of course, it would be good to have a Devin Hester. Every team other than the Chicago Bears throughout history will tell you, well, it'd be nice to have a Devin Hester.
Or anybody that had Dion. Dion was doing the punch returns too.
Sure, it'd be nice to have that, but I mean, the way special teams are run now, you're not going to have that.
What's his name? The guy that keeps getting kicked out of the league for smoking. That's where he started at. He was a special teams expert, man.
Josh Gordon.
Amazing. Yes, Josh Gordon. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring the dude in here. Let's bring the dude in here. Hey, dude, how you doing?
Hey, guys, I know I'm supposed to not come on with a picture but on camera, but you know me and authority, and since Evan dropped the F word, I'm going to say F the rules. I'm here with my picture. Also, I'd heard Johnny mention something about somebody getting kicked out for smoking, and I figured I should come on and respond.
Who got kicked out for smoking?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon.
Oh, you're talking about that.
Yeah, I got kicked out of the league. Yeah.
No relation to squeaky clean Jeff Gordon or Gordon Ramsay.
Or Gordon Ramsay.
Or any other Gordon for that matter, but
how about the fisherman? Yeah. How about that guy? Is he
no, he's not related to the Gordon's fisherman either.
The Gordon's fisherman is the low budget key to a good fish taco. Now, go ahead, gentlemen.
Well, dude, what's your take on the special teams?
Well, special teams, Mr. Irrelevant's got the kicking job on lockdown. We got punting situated, so we're basically talking about the return game, correct?
Wait, what? What?
What?
Mr. Irrelevant has what?
The kicking game. Suck up was Mr. Irrelevant, remember?
Oh, okay. Because we have a new Mr. Irrelevant this year.
Yeah. Well, he plays on defense, though.
Okay. No, I know. That's why I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
We're the question was about special teams, right?
No, I understand. I got you. But when you said Mr. Irrelevant, I was thinking the new guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because, here's the thing. First time that a Buccaneer team actually got to draft as Mr. Irrelevant, I believe, because their previous Super Bowl, didn't they trade away that pick? But anyway.
Yep.
I think they did.
So the kickers are locked in, so we're talking about return game, right?
Yep.
And, of course, whoever lines up and runs down the field and acts like a missile.
Well, I don't know that the kickers are locked in. I know that this is going to be an unpopular thing to say, but I think in camp, if somebody cheaper comes along and does a really good job, I don't think the decisions are made.
I think with the massive amount of effort they went to bring back as many of the people from this team as possible, they're not going to break that mold with a kicker. Especially when I believe Suckup wasn't he top 2 or 3 in the league in most categories?
Most, yeah.
We're talking about return, and we had Jaden Mickens last year for a while. He's still on the roster. The new kid Jalen Durden has been doing some damage, from what I understand. And here's the thing: no one talks about this. You mentioned him earlier, Rick, I believe, with Evan Winter on here. Giovanni Bernard's a hell of a returner.
Yeah.
And no one's talking about that.
Yeah.
So my bold prediction will be the kickers stay status quo, but Giovanni Bernard by midseason is the starting quote unquote kick returner.
Really?
Whoa,
so more than Giovanni Bernard, do you think they're going to put him back there and have him do that?
Well, wasn't Jaden Mickens the guy that tried to catch a ball at the top of his head? Wasn't he the guy that just got popped in Los Angeles for a gun charge?
Wasn't that Cyril Gray or whatever his name was?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Jaden Mickens that got popped for a gun charge. Anyway, my point is, Giovanni Bernard is a multi-tool back, but he can return. He's great at return. So that's just, bold prediction, dark horse, from the smoking section prediction, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
I like the smoking section prediction for that one because Giovanni Bernard's a little bit up in age, and I don't think they're going to bring him in just to be honest.
Well, you're talking to a Bucs team that has a history of Tim Brown as a punt returner.
But there you go with the history part of it. The history started last year.
Joey Galloway. Gosh, who else did they have that was old? Didn't Keenan McCardle have to get forced back there to return a couple punts?
Yeah, this is all you got to understand though. That's all Gruden. Gruden just had this.
Okay, well, didn't Devin Hester make
guys.
a career? Didn't Devin Hester make a career well into his 30s out of it?
Yes,
because he couldn't be. They tried to play him at wide receiver, and he wasn't that good.
Well, okay, that's fine. But we don't need a wide receiver. We need a kick returner.
It's like Devin Hester was kind of like Kenny Gant, where he was supposed to be a star quarterback, wide receiver coming out of college and this and that. He just could not pick up a playbook. So he stayed there at special teams the rest of his career.
Right. Well, thank God, because Giovanni Bernard appears to be able to pick up playbooks. So that kind of negates that. I've seen him return kicks back in the day. The guy's built like a brick poop house. See what I did there? Because it's only 954.
We've already thrown the F word out.
Well, I figure, you get one, right? You get one.
I believe Jalen Darden's going to be your return man. They're not going to kick off a special teamer that could be a career special teamer or whatever to put Gio in that spot, I don't think.
Well, I think Jalen Darden actually beats out Justin Watson and gives Scotty Miller a run for his money. I think we're going to find out this year that Scotty Miller is a one-trick pony. That's another hot take. People don't like that because they love the little guy, and it's a great story. And he rides a scooter on Bucs social media, but the guy you have to start looking at the future, and the future means past Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
But isn't this also look? There's a league of specialists, and that's his specialty. That's what he specializes in. Go fast, go great, go fast, go now.
Yeah, but
that's what he specializes in. You don't ask him. You're not looking for him to do all those other things.
Do you prioritize that over a guy who can run the complete route tree and go across the middle without looking like he's scared to death?
Well, here's the thing: if you've already got guys who can do that, and then you don't have anybody who can go fast and straight and hard and now, I don't know. Do you really want why can't I think of his name? Who's the other guy came same year as Scotty Miller? Wide receiver.
That's the other I don't remember. I never can get the name right.
I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, there's another wide receiver there that I think is the odd man out. We go into this again in this podcast, guys. This podcast is awesome. I mean, we dug into all of this stuff. Everything that's just coming up right now, we dug into on the podcast. So it's kind of, I mean, I keep pushing that podcast, but it's a good one.
The only odd man out at wide receiver I can see is the dude mentioned him a minute ago. I can't remember his name. And that's why he's the odd man out.
Scotty Miller is who he was talking about.
I don't think Scotty Miller's the odd man out because Scotty Miller is tied to the hip of Tom Brady. And that means something on this team.
Now remember,
Justin Watson. Justin Watson.
Remember, I said Justin Watson will be the odd man out, and possibly Darden could go past Scotty Miller.
Right.
And I said Scotty Miller is just not.
Yeah.
We're going to find out, like you just said, Rick. He does one thing good. He's a one-trick pony. You can't have that as your number 4. He becomes a luxury.
Well, I think you've got Tyler Johnson. I think your number 4 is a combination of people depending on your need.
Yeah.
And I think
that's what I think is when I say the year is different right now. Right now, the league is different in the sense that you have wide receivers that are specialists. You have tight ends that are specialists. You have running backs that are specialists. They're not just like, okay, you have to be able to do all of this stuff. Now you've got lots of guys that are doing very specialized things. And I think that's what's happening with, for instance, I mean, I think that's why you're going to have Scotty Miller is, okay, look, when you've got that play where somebody just needs to go deep and clear everybody out, you got the guy.
Yeah, but my thing is, again, Godwin is what? Franchise, so he's got to be redone. Mike Evans isn't exactly young. Antonio Brown isn't exactly young either. Okay, so
well, that's why you need a guy like Miller that can take the top off.
When you've got two guys like Jalen Darden and Tyler Johnson, who you can try to push into those two roles behind those two stars, I think they need to get as many reps as possible. Now, when you want to run a fly route, sure, bring in Scotty Miller. But running the position, the 1 or 2 wide receiver position, it's got to be Jalen Darden and Tyler Johnson being groomed for that.
Tyler Johnson, understand, Tyler Johnson wasn't he, what round did we pick him up in?
Third.
Okay. It's a 3rd round pick. He's not indispensable.
But he's good.
No, but he's got a high ceiling, man. He was
originally okay. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, he looks to be a top 20 wide receiver here in the next year or two. That's
really?
Projection from the experts. Yes. Yeah, Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson's biggest problem was he was behind Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown.
Tyler Johnson,
and he's a 5th round pick. Thank you, Drew. I didn't think
even
that was
better. Even better. So now we got value for the length of that rookie contract. He needs to get in there and get reps at cheap prices because go watch the games he plays.
He's not going to get reps. Okay.
When he did last year.
Reps. You've got when you got.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He got some last year.
Look he didn't get in a game without reps, dude. He did not get in a game because he didn't have reps. He's getting reps.
He's not getting that many. He's getting reps in practice, but he's not getting that much in the game because you've got Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin. Why do you think
Brady took the guys off to practice on their own, man, so that other people would have reps? And that's why, as we had, me and Matt Colson had arguments a couple of years ago, that's why you have such a large staff here.
Oh, no, I agree with you about that. But okay, so which one of those guys are you taking off the field to give Tyler Johnson a rep?
Scotty Miller.
No, that's a 4th receiver.
Right, but he gets in the game. He gets to play on that level with that speed. That's the whole point.
Okay, so
the reps come in practice. The reps come in practice.
Right, that's what I just said is, he's getting reps in practice. I agree with that.
They had him in rotation last year, too. I mean, there's going to be rotation parts where you want to rest Godwin or you want to rest Evans out. And that's when these guys are going to be in.
He's never going to play. But I think it's one of those. What?
Go ahead. I said, actually, this year, I believe they're going to get more reps because they're going to try to get Evans more rest, and they're going to try to give Godwin more rest, and they're going to try to get AB more rest, and that's going to give more reps for these rotational players.
I tend to kind of stick with Tim Weatherspoon here and what Tim said. Tim said he'll get some reps, but nowhere near enough to make a career out of. I think he'll spell some people, but I think that's going to be the extent of it. And he'll get used from time to time. Brady throws to anybody. We know that. Brady will throw to anybody. All right. You don't believe me? Look at the New England running backs over the last 20 years. All right. He's going to throw to anybody. So, yeah. Do I think Tyler Johnson? Look, that incredible catch, Matt, you call it his, what was it? Matrix catch.
Matrix
catch.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean,
you guys are stuck on the catch. You should watch his footwork in those routes.
Well, hold on. What was I about to say? Hold on. What I was literally just saying is I understand everybody talks about the fact that he had that catch. But other than that, yeah, he did good. It's one of those, if you watch the film, if you don't watch where the ball's going, if you're just watching on film and you're watching other stuff that the wide receivers are doing, okay, he's coming along. He's coming along.
We decided he was a 5th round draft pick?
Right. He's a 5th round draft pick. That's what he is as a 5th round draft pick.
Well, that's like saying Kyle Trask is a 2nd round draft pick. He's not.
Or Brady's a 6th round draft pick.
Yeah, right. He's not.
Exactly.
So
well, no, it's really, are you actually trying to make a comparison between Brady being 6th round and
no, we're saying that Tyler Johnson has a very high ceiling according to all the experts. and that the only reason that he isn't starting this year is he's buried behind Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, and Chris Godwin on the depth chart.
I hope you're right. I hope.
Well, no, that's not me.
Right.
That's them. I'm repeating. I'm reporting.
All right. I want to see some of those. I want to see some of those experts. I want to see it rather than just have somebody say, the experts say. I'm not doubting you, but I want to see it. Yeah,
all you got
I'm
to
not
do is turn
doubting
on the NFL Network, but you've got a job, so you don't get to see that crap.
Yeah.
But that's all they talk about. It's
Look,
Brady.
That's all they talk about is Tyler Johnson.
They talk about the Buccaneers all the way down to the water boy and the guy who carries the job.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
If you want to see what Tyler Johnson can do, don't even look at the matrix catch, okay? Look at his expertise in drawing a penalty. That's a veteran play, what he did when he drew that penalty in that game.
Well,
that's a veteran play.
And
Johnny, that is okay. Good point. Yes, I agree. However, I'm just saying this. And I think you guys are misunderstanding. I'm not saying Tyler Johnson isn't good. I'm not saying Tyler Johnson can't be good. I'm saying, all right, hold on. You've got these three guys in front that are immovable. Nobody is getting in front of Evans, Godwin, or Brown.
But Evans
I didn't think that was a conversation. I didn't think that was what we were saying.
I understand. So what you're getting, what you're getting is just this, and this is what I said earlier, this mishmash of sometimes one guy's in, sometimes another guy's in, sometimes somebody else is in. It all depends on the situation. If you've got 3rd and 15, you probably put in Scotty Miller. If you've got a 3rd and 6, maybe you put Tyler Johnson in. I get it that different people are good for different things. All I'm trying to say is this, guys, when it comes to number 4 on your team, who's your number 4 receiver? All right. I mean, if you're going to keep probably, how many do you think? 8 on the team?
Receiver?
All right. If you're going to keep 8, what? 6? How many wide receivers do you think they're going to? Do you think they're going to keep 12?
No. I was just.
How many is the roster this year with the extra game? Is it 56 or is it 60 something?
No, it's the same.
They didn't add.
No.
For the extra game?
No, they're letting them keep
those 2 extra players. They are supposed to be adding in the next couple of years, but we don't know what.
Right, but as of now, no. I believe it's 53-man roster, and you get those 2 guys from that you can take off your practice squad.
Okay, well, in that case, that's even more of an argument for keeping the 5th receiver and the 6th receiver, because Evans has a history of hurting his hamstring.
I agree with you.
We agree that we can find a way to eliminate that by letting him walk a little on the sideline more and not being in every single play. He's going to get his 1,000 yards. He only has to do, 100 yards plus every game?
Not even. No. You've got to do about 60 yards a game, 65 yards a game.
Okay, so he can pull that off in the second quarter. And then he's done statistically. After that, all you need to do is bring in these guys like Scotty Miller. They're going to drag a safety out, way out, because of the speed. And then you got, Tyler Johnson and Justin Watson. I don't know. I think you got a place to put them because of the extra time that the team's going to be on the field over the season. And unless we're winning 30-17 every single game, we have to continue to pass in order to get ahead, right? That's the philosophy.
If you're keeping more than 6 receivers, you're losing a lineman, probably.
Linebacker.
You sure you want to do that?
They're going to keep. I'll guarantee you, Scotty Miller's a lock on the team because he's the guy who takes the top off. He's the one who lets Evans and Godwin do their thing.
Yeah, aren't we a little overloaded tight end too?
I could think of one we could get rid of.
We could swap him for somebody, right?
We are buried. This is the funny thing, guys. We're so deep at every position, and this is what I've been saying, Johnny. You've heard me say this. Somebody's getting cut.
Oh yeah,
that everybody's not ready for.
That's what these practices are for, and all this evaluation is to make sure they're getting rid of the right ones.
Well, I think they get rid of Vaughn before they get rid of Watson, and the running back situation. is even muddier than the wide receivers. I mean, you've got two old guys. You got Giovanni. Was he 30 now? 31, something like that. And
I'm not sure how old Giovanni Bernard is, but you've got but no, you're correct. You're stacked at running back. You're stacked at every position. Okay, every
except
position is
linebacker,
stacked.
Except linebacker, yeah.
Right. Somebody's getting cut.
I say it comes out of the running back room. I think that's going to be the first.
Yeah.
And the wide receiver, we might lose out of the three.
But you're only going to keep maybe six. Okay. Six receivers. Okay.
So it's a toss up between Justin Watson and
Jaden Mickens
or Tyler Jones.
Mickens.
No, I think you're six. Here's who I think is making the team: Evans, Godwin, Brown, Miller, Darden, and Johnson. I think those six are making the team. I think Mickens and Watson are just the odd man out. I don't know how, but the thing is this: between now and when that happens, if one of those guys really shows out in camp,
or one of them gets hurt,
yeah.
I mean, we get one twisted knee, and they got to lay out the rest of the training camp. So
no, I also said this, and if if you listen on the podcast, you'll hear I said somebody's going to be grabbing their hamstring and saying, "Ow, ow, ow!" Okay, they're going to put you on IR. Okay, we're going to be stacking people away on IR that are probably healthy, but you know how that works,
right? That's where you hide your extra people.
Right. That's where you go up and you tell somebody, "Hey, man, here's the deal. Your hamstring hurts, right?"
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. So, how do you like Tampa? By the way, your hamstring hurts, doesn't it?
Did you close on that condominium?
Yeah. Because that's pretty much. I think that's what's going to happen. Is you're going to you will see a rash of these. Oh yeah, he's out for 4 weeks. He's out for 5 weeks. You might see Keyshawn Vaughn be out for the year with a knee or something. And the truth of the matter is they're just stashing him away.
Well, that would be smart. How many people can you have on IR? Is there a limit?
I don't know.
I've actually never heard of a limit or even looked it up, actually, to tell you the truth about it.
That'd be interesting to figure out.
Yeah. I have no ididea.
I
want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys for being here. We're going to go ahead and shut this thing down for the night.
Okay.
Yeah. This was a good show, though.
Yeah, we had fun. I'm sorry I was late. I'll make it better next week.
Dude, did you have something you wanted to say over here, flipping out with your microphone?
I'm just hanging out, man.
Oh, okay, because it kept muting and unmuting.
That's why you're always on with a picture.
Johnny, did you get that shirt at that Comic-Con?
Yeah, man.
Did you know that it doesn't say Hulk? I'm just wondering if you realize you're missing a letter. This
is a shirt brand, dude. It's a clothing brand.
Matt, you don't have to explain yourself. I know you went for the cheap Japanese guy on the walk-in. Right?
The Wish version of a Hulk T-shirt.
Matt, it's missing the L, Matt, which you are holding right now.
I get the L?
Yeah.
All right. I read that in a song somewhere.
Actually, Matt's the one guy who, after all of those little game show wins that he had, I think it's hard to call you much of an L. I think I got all W's more than anything.
Yeah, I got all but one, and I'm still waiting on that prize.
You'll get it. You're getting it. You're getting it.
I redeemed myself and even included Matt in that too. So
yep.
I kind of missed that. We ought to work on that when the season starts back up again.
Yep.
We'll get a little bit more players.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, I got to run. Want to thank you guys for what were you saying, dude?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And thank you guys. Johnny, tell everybody where you're. Never mind, Johnny, go ahead. I was trying to get him to tell us where his where his show is and to give us all the info on his show, and he escaped before I could get that information.
I see that.
Matt, thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming by, brother. You were missed early in the show.
Well, I do my best. I'll see you tomorrow and Monday.
Yep, tomorrow night for What's Cooking in the South.
There you go. All right, guys, have a good night.
All right, have a good one. All right, guys, I want to thank you all for coming. Great show, a lot of fun as always. This was a good time, and we will be back tomorrow night at 8:30 for What's Cooking in the South, and it gets way off the rails on that show. So, leave your sensitive ears. That show gets crazy. So I want to thank you guys for being here tonight. Teresa, thank you. I see you in there. Johnny, thank you. Johnny says Thursday nights, 11 p.m., the NFL edition, I believe. I'm not sure what the name of their show is. If Johnny, you want to type that in there? Unless it's called NFL edition. But I want to thank you guys for being here. And let's all seriously learn how to be champions. Embrace Champa Bay. Thump your chest, brag a little bit, be a little bit cocky. Guys, it's never going to be better than it is right now. This city owns everything. This city is the center of the sports universe. Enjoy it. Be a fan of it. Be proud of it. Brag about it. Wear it on your chest. Pound your chest. Scream it from the rooftops. Go Bucs. Thanks for coming, guys.